episode of the D.B.A.B podcast. That's right,
Oh,
full of energy tonight. We are with the boys Jack, Cletus, and Adam. Cobbs is preoccupied tonight, so he may join us. He may not. Oh well. Shout out to the Dallas Stars as they are going to even their series tonight against the Krakens of Seattle, correct? Or whatever they're from, right?
yes.
Kraken. Okay. But again, got a great show hopefully for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna do a brief recap of the NFL draft. Your boy was 3 for 3 the first 3 picks. Other than that, shit went to poo poo. Things went to shit. Okay. Um, but that's the draft for us. You know what I mean? But it was really entertaining to watch. So we got some recap there. Um, talk a little bit about NBA playoffs, the HEAT. We're gonna talk about them, right? And of course LBJ with the Lakers. We got NHL playoffs also to talk about. And special tonight is that as we are recording and doing our show, we have NHL playoffs going on, right? And we will get live reaction from Mr. Adam and Mr. Cletus, apparently with NHL. So if you hear random stuff out of the blue and it's NHL, know that they're watching uh, the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think. Okay. But anyway, you already know what's the deal. It's a DBA podcast. Boys, let's get it going. Perfect. Hear the intro twice through. Perfect. Anyways, it's the DBAB podcast with the boys. Hey, we're just having a great time going off the hip tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the listen. Remember, you can find our podcast anywhere podcasts are found: Apple, Spotify, all of the above. Hit us up. Go follow us. Subscribe on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter. Great stuff as always, fellas. Thanks for being here tonight. A little bit of a curveball. Oh, not before we get to the curveball, if you will. We got our Be the Light segment, which is our favorite segment of the show. And Cletus, I've heard that you are shining the light. So please, sir, tell us what is going on.
Just, j- um, really just kind of reflecting more than anything. That like the realization we were talking. I was talking to my seniors this week of just, you know, the there are what, Josh, 4 weeks, 3 weeks away from being like done with high
Yeah,
school,
I think
and you know,
I counted at 3.5 because that last week of school for us is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then half day Thursday, right?
right. And so just more than anything, just kind of reflecting and talking to them, and just, they've kind of they this group is a very unique group for us. Lots of good kids, lots of knotheads, but just a real good group, really fun to be around. And being this is my first year teaching, getting to teach seniors, and so this group has been really just an awesome group to kind of reflect on, and we're just, again, just talking about life more than anything, and so they've kind of put my brain, into some perspective, and piggyback off that is really you know talking to you guys a day or two ago, and y'all kind of know my situation right now of just kind of waiting right now, and just kind of thanking y'all for being the light for me, just just telling me to be patient, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. And kind of moving on from there. So I kind of got blessed twice this week with with our seniors, and giving them some perspective, and them giving me some perspective, and obviously through our group text, and just you know, our friendship kind of helping me through this last week or so. Just and again, y'all kind of know my situation and what things are going on with me right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cleet, just to piggyback off you because I also had a be the light moment, as well, if you will. But to piggyback off what you were saying, obviously, one, what makes our show really special, at least to us, is that the five of us we talk every day. I mean, and it can be whatever from what the weather's like, sports, music, all the above. We always talk about. But
Memes.
when yeah, memes, videos, TikToks, and stuff, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like when we ever have stuff that we're going through in our life, what's really nice is we always have the ability to reach out to somebody in our group.
Yeah,
Obviously us four here with Cobbs and to get advice and to seek not necessarily help, but to seek guidance and stuff like
just
that. I know, and of course Adam's doing a great job at his what he's doing with logistics and stuff like that. But the other three of us here, we've all gone through, I wouldn't say predicaments this off season, but we have gone through
something.
um, something to the point where we have felt divided within ourselves because of opportunities that have been presented. And when we looked at both, you know, opportunities, we can see ourselves in one point. And what's been really nice is that we can bring those, speak to the group, and kind of let the group have their opinions to help sway us. So, um, but and the one big thing is that we're always positive with each other and helping each other out. And literally, we are being the light for each other every time somebody's come to the plate with their situation. Um, and then, like Cleet, I teach seniors as well. This is my third year doing it. I absolutely love it. The only thing that's a knock is that they're lazy as hell.
Senioritis
Um,
has kicked in officially in Arizona, and I want to like drop kick them, every single one of them.
well, yeah, it's funny because I always joke to people when I teaching seniors that I always know that there's going to be senioritis, especially at the end of the year.
Hmm.
But for me, I was still like there's senioritis in August, there's senioritis kicks in December, and then definitely after spring break is when it truly kicks in for most of them to go downhill from there. But it's been a great experience with seniors for the last 3 years, and because they're going to be adults soon and go into the real world, so we do have a lot of heart to heart talks, and I try to prepare them as best I can. Um,
Hmm.
we teach government, economics, and stuff, and for the most part, these kids don't really care about supply and demand and markets and all this kind of stuff. They're too busy with TikTok and Instagram to worry about all that and whatnot. But the relationships formed is obviously important. But my be the light is a student this week gave me a card, and it was a thank you card, and she had literally wrote from top to bottom of the card just a message, and that message really hit home, and makes me, stuff like that makes me feel good to the point where I'm at least helping somebody in the room. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Whether it's how our relationship has grown just from, because for the most part, every day with my students, I always try to address each student by their name. Whether it's hey John, how's it going? Hey Marissa, how's it going? Blah 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 blah. Like just to each and every one of them, so they can kind of feel like they're
Important.
seen, if you will. Yeah. And then this one student that wrote her card, she was, you know, I wouldn't say that she got more attention than others, but she was a cheerleader, and all this kind of stuff, and she was around more, and her brother was on the football team, so like we had more interactions, we had a little bit more of familiarity with ourselves, with each other and stuff like that. But when she gave me that card and I read it, it truly hit home and made me feel good that obviously that occurs and whatnot. So that was to be the light shown on me. I guess that I'm being a good person to them and inspiring them and to do good stuff or whatnot. So yeah, it was pretty special when I get stuff like that. And like Jack does, I think Jack does it for all of his football players, where he writes them little cards, right? Right, Jack.
Yes, their
Okay.
opening game and their senior night.
So I have I love that idea for Jack, but how I do it is I do it for every senior I have in my class. So at the end of the year, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I go through and I buy, I get the thank you cards and I write little notes to each one of my seniors saying, thank you for being in my class. It's been a pleasure. Wish you all the best. It's kind of almost like a generic message, but I actually mean it because of the experiences that we went through the years. So, um, and it really makes me. I take great pride in it because I love my job. I tell my kids that all the time. I love my job. Like I've never had a day. I've never once had a day where I've shown up to school and absolutely dreaded being there. You know what I mean? Like never once have dreaded. I gotta go teach government first period. I gotta go do a sixth period athletics. Like it's never been like that. Which is, I've had other jobs before. Which I'm sure we can all attest to, where we've dreaded going into work to work our time schedule or whatever. But it's truly been a blessing, and God's been the light. God has been the be the light for me ever since He's given me this opportunity. Not to get religious, but
Yeah,
whatnot.
I like it.
Anywho,
I like it.
yeah, man. And like I said, we love this be the light segment. I really love it because of what it what it means and stuff. And so like I'm always thankful to Jack for bringing it to us and that we get to discuss it all the time and we get to discuss it on here and then hopefully for our listeners, even if it's one listener, two listeners, 10 listeners, 100 listeners, that they can take that and then they can spread it around. And next thing you know, it's 1,000 and 1,000,000, and then all the world can be a better place. Can we, amen.
Amen.
So
Hey, to piggyback off that, I agree with that. Being a coach and my cousin, mine and Adam's Cuzzo, shout out Cuzzo. He just got done playing his final game in college baseball, and he made a long. He said, "Thanks, thank you, dear baseball," and he wrote a letter to baseball saying what it meant to him and taught him. And at the end, I didn't think much of it. I just said, "You're about to enter another calling." Um, preaching, coaching, teaching, logistics. It's a calling, because I don't think I've worked a day in my life. This brings me great joy and passion being a coach,
amen.
and
Amen.
you get to impact you impact more. Billy Graham. Not to get all theological, but Billy Graham made a comment. He's saying that coaches make more of an impact in lives than a normal person could. Um, and Dabo makes his great quote about what did I do for God's kingdom with all the people that I've gotten interacted with in my life, and that's what be the light means. So I've got two. My cousin, shout out cousin, you're about to enter a great calling. Go be the best you can, and remember, you have some great people in your family that'll back you up, like our uncle T.O. Great, our cousin, our other cousin, and his son. Great people that to look up to and follow. That would be the light. Would be we got another Garcia, another good Coach Garcia in the world. Probably better than any. He'd probably be way better than me one day. Let's hope that for him wins state championships and impacts lives. He makes champions and he wins championships. Another thing, I got a letter. Appreciate coaches and teachers out there. It's Teacher Appreciation Week across the United States.
It
Uh,
is.
yes,
I did not know that.
it's the first week in May most of the time, but ours is next week. But because of
I
STAR
think ours
testing.
is too.
But for all those teachers out there, I appreciate you. I know I usually send text out to teachers and coaches that impacted me, and I usually tell them thank you. I'm a reason I'm a coach today is because of some of those people. So I'm sending that text tomorrow. Um, but one of them, God rest his soul, he's really been a reason. He was a light for me in a dark room, and he's the reason I'm a coach. So I appreciate that. And I had a kid write a letter to me, and it's a football player. I've had him since he was a freshman, and this kind of this whole thing we were talking about earlier. You get signs from the big man upstairs that kind of guides you, even though your heart or guts telling you to do one thing. The big man upstairs punch you in the face and say, "Listen here." jackass, this is your spot. He wrote me a letter, and it wasn't much. It just goes a long way. It shows your appreciation, especially after I was in a slump, and and it brought joy to me, and it was the light for me, and it really brightened my week. I guess I got it last week, and it brightened my whole week, and I was like, this is why I do what I do. It's unsung stuff that he's every little thing I've said to him, good or bad, he's gonna remember. He's gonna take it with him. So appreciate the letter. It really means a lot if you're out there listening. Be the light out there, everybody. Be the reason why somebody feels like someone, regardless of what it is. Treat the janitor, treat the custodian, treat the lunch lady with the same respect you'd like to be treated with, and that goes a long way and builds great relationships across the way. And no telling what that person says about you later down in life, how you treated them. That sets the tone of what this whole Be the Light segment means. As be the reason why someone talks good about you instead of bad.
Man, this segment tonight has been.
I mean,
has been
I feel like
it's been
I
powerful.
feel like I got to get in now. Everybody said their piece. So I'm going to piggyback off of all of y'all's piggyback. And I'm going to say, like, I've had a privilege of, being coached in high school, middle school, and then even on to the next level. And then I've seen the impact on all of them, So I honestly probably wouldn't be sitting in this room if there wasn't for a certain amount of coaches. And honestly, I don't think that I know that I know that y'all's students, players, they all see y'all's impact on them. But just to like piggyback on that, y'all have an impact on me as well. Because outside of like watching sporting events and stuff like that, I don't really have that face-to-face with like those guys anymore, So like I don't have that competitive edge like I used to have. And it's just so like badass to hear the stories that you guys have, coming in here with, oh, I got this letter from this player, I got this letter from this student, because we've all been there, Some of us just never had the guts to be like, hey, I'm going to give my favorite teacher, my favorite coach this letter, just to let them know what they mean to me. So, this is kind of me saying like, you guys mean a lot to me because I'm still humbled every day. We come in here, we clown, we make fun of each other and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're all still here. We all still like Cleet said, Josh said, we all continue to talk to each other every single day. Everybody's got stuff going on. And then, everybody makes so many jokes that you kind of forget about everything that's going on. And just jump in, so kind of like what I'm saying is like this podcast, we look forward to this every single time we hop on this, it's not even like a burden, like this is what we want to do. And, the group message, it's never a burden, sometimes I don't check my phone and I'm like 100 messages behind, but
same, Adam.
but to me, it's never a burden because, I go through and I can just laugh about it. I can just laugh and then I could just throw my 2 cents in, even though it's 2 hours delayed. And then, somebody's always still clowning on somebody, somebody piggybacks off of it, So if I had to say, I'm not going to say it's me being a Be the Light. I'm going to say you guys are my Be the Light because you keep me humbled every day. And you keep everybody honest. So, I'm gonna leave it with that because we still got debates coming up. So I might feel different towards the end, but I'm gonna say you guys shout out to the LFG group message and the DBAB podcast for being the light for me.
Amen.
Hey, didn't know roasting was such a delightful moment for something, but I'll keep it up. I like it.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Mud
Amen.
Flat?
Oh yeah. Hey, and I was just thinking when you were talking, Jack, and you worked with Dad Taylor, right? Yeah. With Steve at Denver City.
Yeah.
Do you remember that saying he always had when he's talking about coaches? We impact kids every day. He said, I didn't say positively impact. He just said impact.
Yep.
Whether it's positive or negative is up to us.
Yep.
And he always said, make sure every day when those kids see you, it's a positive impact.
Yep.
Yep. Man, like I said earlier, like it has been this has probably been one of the most profound, powerful be the light segments I think we've ever had. Because obviously we've all chimed in with something, but the messages that have been said, the the profound effect of our be the light and how we embody it and how we see the world and how all that stuff plays out is just I think if we really wanted to, like, we can make a whole episode on just be the light. You know what I mean? And talk about different examples and how our group is be the light for each other. Because at first earlier today when I was thinking about it, I was gonna be like, man, I'm gonna shout out to all the boys because they're the be the light for me and or for all of us. And the next thing you know, it just naturally boom, 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 boom. Just now we all said that or encompassed that ideology, and
I'm
it's
glad it
great.
caught on. That's a mantra of mine, so I'm glad it caught on with you guys. For sure.
But I
That's why
think,
we're
but I think
boys.
that's why I think, amen. I think that's why one of the big reasons that we all are so interconnected and have these strong bonds with each other, not because of football and we're good friends and we've known each other for a while and all this stuff, but the beliefs and the core values that we have and our characteristics are so intertwined and similar in a way that it just feels like I'll share this for our viewers real quick. Um, Between Jack and I, right? Because through Jack is how I know Cletus, of course, his brother Adam, and Cobbs. But I never knew Jack in my life until we moved down to Port Isabel, and it was 2017.
No, oh, was it 17? I thought it was like 15 or 16.
It was
Because I was
it was
still,
eight.
No, because
It was,
I
it was
was still at
18.
Denver City when y'all
It was
moved.
18.
no, hold on. It was I graduated from. It might have been 18
Yeah.
because I graduated from Tech in December of 17.
It was 18.
So so 2018. It was July, maybe end of July or so. I met Jack for the first time, and like if you were like a fly on the wall or had like a third person view, and you would have like been around us that night and then left, you would have thought that we knew each other all of our life.
Yeah,
And and that
that's a true
has
statement.
sparked a relationship that is has then been reciprocated with Cleet and Cobbs and Adam to the point where if you got all five of us in a room and we would start bullshitting, especially if a flavored water was involved and whatnot, you would not been able to tell that we have known each other for less than a certain amount of years. You would
Well,
have think that we have known each other all of our
to
lives.
be
That's
And
to be fair, that's why we started doing this.
yeah.
Is last summer we were hanging out in the pool and we used to start bullshitting in the pool, and someone said, "Oh, let's do a podcast."
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it was
No,
Yeah.
Cobbs. I think it was
it's
Cobbs that brought it
we
up.
should do we should do a podcast, and we should start bullshitting again. We just dropped that conversation, and like Cody, I've known for what 3 years. Is that
Hmm.
about how long I met
Yeah, that's
first
how
time I
long I've
met
been
him?
here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's three
Yeah.
years. Jack, I've known what now? What we got 6, 7?
Forever.
Feels like yeah, 6 or 7.
7. It
7
feels long as hell.
is 7. Because I remember the first time I met Jack, I thought you fucking hated my guts. Then I got
Yeah, Cleet, you remember where you met me for the first time?
coaching school, wasn't it?
H Town, baby, at coaching school.
Oh, sweat,
Oh.
H Town.
sweat my fucking ass off. It's back in freaking in Houston, and I'm
Yeah.
not looking forward to
I
it.
I don't like Houston that
I
often.
hate Houston. With
I
a
I
won't.
might have to
passion.
go to Houston just to see you guys.
I won't be there. I'll be in California at Disneyland.
Seriously,
What a
Yep.
smuck. What a
God.
No, well,
Be involved with
asterisk,
association, Slappy.
asterisk here for the conversation. It was from originally
yes.
our family trip was in December, and then Southwest fucked all that up, and we got rescheduled. And when my sister gave me the options, it was either in August or July, and I decided to sacrifice July instead of missing time in August
Yeah, that's probably
because
pretty.
we all know
That's
what
probably
happens
pretty
in August.
smart on your part.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Especially because last year in August I did miss a scrimmage last year, but That's because I was walking across the stage
Dun, 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 dun,
Well,
get my master's.
Oh, that
Which
Houston's
sucks.
guess who's gonna do it? Guess
Houston's.
who is up next
Uh,
this year for getting his master's? Ooh,
When do you graduate,
August.
by the way, Jack?
August.
August,
Are you
baby, and
walking?
he's gonna get one of. He's gonna get one of these.
Watch out. I'll get one of those.
are you walking?
I'm trying
He's gonna get a
to.
virtual.
I'm looking at some stuff.
August what?
It's like second week in August, first or second week in August.
Okay, Adam. Here, before we're gonna get totally sidetracked in our podcast. Jack and I talked about it. We've been talking about it this week, right? Because he was saying something about like it's expensive to fly into the. There's no airport in Clemson. You gotta. It's somewhere around there and then drive to Clemson.
How?
Well, the closest airport is it's expensive.
What's the
So here's
closest
the thing I
airport?
told
Greenville something. It's got
Greenville,
South
yes,
Carolina?
Greenville.
yeah.
North
Fly
Carolina?
into here.
Oh.
Fly into South Carolina. We go on a golf trip, and then we drive you to Clemson, and we'll let you walk the fucking stage. This is a milestone, my brother. This is a
No, but
milestone.
here's the suggestion I had for him because it's what we did when I went because my sister and my brother. Well, okay, so my sister and I went, and then my brother surprised me and he met us on the trip too. But we flew to Atlanta because it was cheaper. Drove
Which is
up
what
because
point
it
you
was
might
like
be.
a 2 hour drive or less. And it was cheap, like I said. Drove up. We checked out the area. We went to the school. We got to see the school and all the stuff
You see
for
the
what we
stadium?
could. Yeah, we walked past the stadium. Unfortunately, we couldn't go see like their athletic facilities because they were literally like it's pretty spaced out a little bit. Not like Tech. It's not. It's definitely not like Tech spread out. But
Texas has gotten
still a good
better
amount of
though.
walking.
To be fair,
Yes. But for me, if I did rate on a scale of like 1 to 10, like I would say Tech's campus is better than Clemson. But that's just me. Um. Anyway, so we saw the school the same day we got there after we drove in. Had dinner that night. Next morning, obviously, it was graduation, and then did all the pictures and all this kind of stuff and whatnot. And then when we got done, we drove to Atlanta, and I think we had dinner that night and did stuff. And then woke up the next day, and we had enough time. Or maybe we got to Atlanta early enough. Can't remember off the top of my head.
You know what?
We might have got there early enough in Atlanta that we went to the College Football Hall of Fame and the
oh,
Coca-Cola Museum.
I want
And
to.
the
I want
next
to
day we flew
go.
back out.
You
I
know
want to
what?
go so bad to the College Football Hall of
Sidebar:
Fame.
we got Jack and Xbox. We can get Jack to Clemson.
The problem
Hey,
is it's in
man.
the middle of football season. That's the problem.
Nah,
but-
fuck that. Milestone. Milestone.
Now, I'm about
It's the
if
individual
you
accolades
yes,
that matter
I-
as well.
yes,
I
go up
I'm-
to your boss man. Go up to your boss man and say,
Give me
"Hey,
his
in
number. I'll
August,
talk to
in
him.
August,
well,
listen,
this is
I said it to my head boss
yeah.
too. I was
I'll
like, hey,
say
I
it.
just
I
want to let
mean,
you know, hey, I want you to know I'm getting my master's because he knew about it beforehand
yeah,
too, like obviously. And I was like, hey, I'm getting my master's. I'm graduating in August. This is the date. He said go,
yeah, and that's. I
but
mean, that's
obviously
if
that's
I.
my guy.
It'll be at the end of the day. It's going to be like that too. The only problem is if to me, I want to fly Thursday, drive or whatever, and get there Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday, and not miss that much. But when push comes to shove, it'll make it happen. But I'm gonna be close to Tiger Boys. Are pretty pumped about it. But
Hey, quick question for you
It's a
two.
nice camp.
Quick question for you two, Slappies. Why Why Clemson? Like, why did y'all pick that online program to
Okay, so
to
the
get y'all's
easy
masters done through
so
Clemson?
the short answer is going to be Coach Strong. Okay, our former boss in Port Hueneme.
Right.
Okay, so the reason why was because he did the program first. So before all this, I had an idea that at least one day I would like to get my master's because I had the dream, still do to a degree, that one day I would like to give college football a shot, right? And I know that with your master's, you kind of need it. You don't have to worry about going through other routes or whatnot. So I knew I needed it. Well, he partook in it, and of course, we all had a close relationship with him or whatnot. And so he got it in athletic leadership, and he told us about it, all this kind of stuff, and then he convinced me to do it. And so obviously, I started the year after, and then Jack got convinced, and then Jack started the year after I did. So it's been literally boom, boom, boom. All of us getting the same master's degree from the same
See,
online.
like I've been thinking about getting my master's. Like everyone I've talked to said, do it before you get married, do it before you have kids. That's what everyone's told me is do it before you get married, do it before you have kids.
Yeah.
Josh
But-
ain't got to worry about either of those things.
Amen, brother.
The thing, like even like teach my seniors, and when I have to get on the board and start, I'm thinking, I'm not a big fan of reading, and like typing paper sucks. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I don't want to do that, but I want to get my master's. But I don't want to freaking like
Okay, so I'll
type and all that
Well,
BS that goes with
Uh,
it.
so I'll-
Hannah's is harder
I'll-
than Hannah's.
uh,
Hannah's done more
yes,
in
Hannah's
her
has-
first
yes.
semester or year than I ever did in
So
my
I'll-
semester.
Is it
So
athletic
I'll-
leadership is what y'all got chosen, right?
Yeah, so Cleet, I will try to give you a brief synopsis over the 2-year program. So there's gonna be times, yes, where you have to write papers, stuff like that, but it's not all the time. And it's usually, honestly, it's not a very difficult process to do that part. There's discussion boards where it's online and it's easy, or you can do I don't know if they still do it, but we do our discussion board via Zoom, which was super easy. And then of course you'd have your projects, but like, compared to what Hannah's doing and stuff like that, like,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna say it's easy in terms of like getting good grades. Like you're still gonna have to put the work in and time and stuff like. But compared to like what it could be, it's totally more feasible. If that makes sense. Like it just.
And I just need to. I just need to find a school. I just need to find a school that'll.
Clemson,
Like,
baby. Clemson, baby.
And,
Add
and then
another
another
tiger.
reason, another reason too is that it's one of the best programs in the nation for what it's done, for what it does. Like for its athletic leadership, AD stuff.
I'll talk to y'all after once we get off. Just trying to get ideas of like even just cost that's kind of my thing too. I know the
Oh, well,
cost
good.
deal
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. All right. Anyways, all that said, great Be the Light segment, great time. As always, definitely a profound effect that we have on each other, our students, the people we interact with all the time. I'm truly thankful for all of you boys and Cobbs. I know he's not here to say it, but and of course we all have our our other friends that we hold near and dear, and shout out to them, and we love them. But like our little group that we had, the LFG crew, like it is, I don't know, for the last 3-4 years, whatever it's been,
Mm-hmm.
a special group that when everybody in this group gets married besides Jack Cobbs because they're already married, like we're all gonna be there when we're popping out babies. We're all gonna be there.
I'm glad you brought this up because I got some stuff to talk. I want the green jacket thing, Hawaiian Adam. I want to wear Hawaiian suit or Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, Jingale.
Hey, the pre-wedding
I want the
photo
pre-wedding
shoot thing was pretty good.
by the way,
pre-game one. I definitely want that.
That was pretty cool.
I sent that to
Grizzly.
Yes.
Grizzly?
What'd she say?
She just laughed. So
It's
it
gonna
wasn't a
happen.
no.
It's
It
gonna
wasn't a
happen.
no.
I can see. Okay, so Cleet is probably gonna be more likely to be,
Cletus is gonna have a heck of a time.
Ian-
You're gonna marry
or Adam. What about Adam?
No,
Adam?
no. He's gonna go get he's just gonna be like.
I mean, if we're on the topic, what's probably gonna happen is we'll probably go like destination style. Probably get hitched in like the beach. I'm gonna wear this badass Hawaiian tuxedo.
You will not wear a Hawaiian tuxedo.
And then I'll get in trouble, but I'll show up in a Hawaiian tuxedo, but I'll have something to change into after.
You will not wear a Hawaiian tuxedo. You will wear
so first off,
and a Hawaiian print bow tie or tie. That'll be the most you get, but you will not wear a Hawaiian tuxedo.
I mean, you're probably accurate, but I'm just saying, since he's asking.
Where is the destination wedding?
We're thinking Puerto Rico or Hawaii. Because neither one nobody would need a passport.
Let's go Puerto Rico. Let's go.
And I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not on it was on a bigger scale at one point, but with the economy the way it is, we've had some issues on this side over here.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
We feel you.
We understand.
So,
we understand.
I mean,
but definitely something to look forward to.
yeah.
Obviously.
So it's more
y'all.
of a destination style, and then we'll go destination, come back, and then we'll probably just have a little party with all of our friends or whatever the case may be.
So we're counting on Cletus to have the pre.
Whatever, however it gets done, it's gonna be awesome. I know that
For sure. For sure. We are gonna do Cletus.
But I'll still have a bachelor party.
Oh, we know. I got your bachelor party figured out, but you got to just ask me the date. But anyway, Cletus, I expect.
Yes. Cletus is going to have the pregame
show where we're all taking pictures.
Yes, as we're walking up.
We're going to get you a custom green jacket. You know. You know.
We should have for Cletus's. We should have 2 pregame photo shoots. One before the bachelor night.
Yes, I'm down with that.
And one before the wedding.
You know, we also got to take into account that our other guy, Ride or Die, is probably going to be on a short leash.
Well, we need one more person to go through the little, I think our version of the Masters would be, so that way we can do groups of 2.
I got one for us.
We do need one more.
I got one for us.
We do need one more. What do you got? We'll find that out.
We got some more guys. But
we'll find that out later.
I know this. It's always a good time when we get to hang out in person. And when we do that, we will make a podcast in person and maybe make it live so you can interact with us.
Let's go!
So whoever gets married first, we'll make a podcast.
Oh
man, imagine that, a wedding podcast live.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ever met Chelsea, but she'd probably kill me. But you know what? Let's do it.
I don't think I've ever
on location at the beach.
Like we'll be we'll be all dressed up in our tuxedos, like sitting there, like, how's this podcast gonna go? You know.
We'll have a pre-podcast and then a post-podcast.
No, we won't have a post. I promise you that.
No.
There will not be a post.
No, we'll have to have it like the day before or the day after.
Or it'll be in the groomsman suite.
Oh,
while we're getting dressed, but like have the people getting dressed on the side behind us, and we sit here and interact and have it live. And no telling what kind of crazy crap we get into.
Yeah.
Hey, a few more of these, and we'd be the smartest people on the planet. Albert Einstein ain't got nothing on me.
Einstein.
Yeah.
Cletus, Mr. Fitty, my brother. Josh, yours is out there. You're Wolfenstein.
I'm gonna be the last one, and it's gonna be
Wolfenstein.
Like everybody's gonna have gone before me, and so like this last one is gonna be like, I don't want to say it's gonna be like the best one.
We'll be old.
We'll be old. Cops will have 12 kids by then.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna be ultra.
Taylor's gonna pop out one, and then she's gonna pop out another, and then next thing you know, he's gonna have a whole baseball team.
He's gonna that whole Mart football, football program is gonna be called.
So, I mean, so you better start getting yourself available because you might run out of friends by the time you find one. Because your airline done found its way out.
Wow. Hey, I love you too, big dog. Hey, just to let all of our listeners know, if you're a single lady.
Oh my gosh!
Lady's gonna see the boy over here.
I'm here. I'm hit me up. Single. I'm the only single one here in the house. So just hit me up. Okay, hit me up on that Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat,
or just say something to DBAB podcast on the Insta, on the Twitter, and he's the handle. I mean, he handles it. So
is he really?
Yeah, slide into the DMs. You know what I mean?
He'll be your light.
Wow.
Good job, Adam. I'm so proud of you.
It'll
That
light
was
you
pretty,
up
that,
like
that was
a
pretty. That was pretty good.
That'll go.
That was
Hey,
pretty good, Adam.
What's really great is that we're like 40 minutes into the show and we haven't
Talk
said
sports. And
anything
that might be
about sports.
That's why we did this. Damn it!
I
It
know
might
this
be-
is what
it
it's
might
so
be a good
great
one. Now that
for.
we'll go to the segue here. We'll go straight. We'll go straight talking about hanging out with the boys. So speaking of hanging out with the boys, Adam.
Let's
Straight
go.
hanging
Oh, right off the bat,
So,
let's
Hanging out with the
go.
boys. Last week, if you watched last week's episode, we put Cody Cobbs on the spot about baseball trivia. Right? If you watched,
He failed epically.
he failed miserably. So he
Did
owes
he pay
money in
Curtin,
the
by the
pot.
way?
No,
He owes
did not.
money in the pot.
He
Did
owes
he
money
pay?
in the pot. The over-under was
No,
that he would
nobody's
get
paid that.
under. So whatever we decide, whatever 10, 5, I don't remember. We'll let
5.
we'll say 5 in the pot. Well, this pot goes over into our golf, cervezas, tacos, tequila.
Steaks.
Hey, y'all
Bunch-
gonna come float the river? By the way.
Win.
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 Just give me.
All right, I'll
date.
give you a date after. Let's resume, and we can
so-
talk
Okay.
about it after.
This. So the thing is, he had to get an over under, so we all made a
Get the
bet.
Frio,
So
baby.
I won the bet, so I don't have to pay. Josh lost, or Cleet got the bet correct, so me and Cleet don't got to pay, but Josh and Cobbs got to pay to the bet. The bet was he would get this certain amount right, and he didn't. So now you are on the spot too. You owe money into the pot if you don't get these questions correct, which will be, what is the number? 50%.
Yeah, about half of it, and I think I took under for Adam.
So Adam, if you're under,
Damn.
so if you get less than 50% correct, I have to pay.
How
said you're
seasoned
good.
are these questions?
Well, I literally gave you a
Apparently,
hint earlier.
yours
I
is a
literally
son of a
gave you.
bitch.
I literally
Yeah,
gave
dude.
you.
Okay. You know what?
My
If you've been hanging, but if you've been,
You
hanging
know what?
around
The
with
whole
Twitter-
podcast is called DBAB. I'm ready.
All right, so like if you've been hanging
Let's
out with
go.
Twitter and all that, your question is going to be pretty easy because it's been absorbed and flying around like this like crazy. So the bet is if you get under 50%, I owe money. But if you go over 50%, I said you were going to get over. I said you were going to get more than Mr. Cody Cobbs. He said you're going to get less.
I owe money. I owe more money.
So it makes sense.
And that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So first question is,
Oh.
you're
Over.
you go.
I was
you're-
over.
Yeah, you're saying he's over. Me and Cleet got you as over.
So
Big.
real quick, Jack, how many questions do we have?
There's going
Total.
to be well, the first one should be easy. So there's three questions, and these 3 questions, one has 5 parts. One has 5 parts. So you have 3 questions total, one has 5 parts.
So 7 total questions.
7 total, yes. All right,
he
so
needs to get 4 right,
yes.
and he's good. Okay.
All right, here you
We'll
go.
make sure the
Question 1.
parameters are set.
Hockey. You get hockey. So like I mentioned, if you've been all around hockey, this has been floating around the Twitter mediaverse. All right, is what we're going to call it, because shout out Spider-Man coming out in a couple weeks. So name, what is the President's Cup?
What is the president? The Stanley Cup.
No. What is the
What do you
President's
mean?
Cup? That's the question. What is the President's Cup in hockey?
Oh shit!
Isn't it basically the MVP of the hockey? I don't know what this President's Cup is, actually. I think it's either the Western or the Eastern. I don't know what the fuck they call it in hockey.
I'm gonna owe money to this thing. Thank you.
I am
for that.
too, bro.
So
I don't know what.
Okay, the
I know the
President's
President's Cup for golf.
So the President's Cup in hockey is the team that gets the most points and wins in a season.
Oh, yeah, I would have never known that.
So the next part of your question, question 2.
Oh fuck!
You're
I'm gonna
shooting-
probably get 0% if
You're
that's the kind of
striking out.
questions you're giving me.
You gotta
Under.
pay. I told you to be ready. I should have picked the under, man.
I don't
All right, cool.
understand like where the President's Cup came from. Like I don't understand like what.
Well, the President's Cup. So
I don't understand why that's a thing because the team that scored the most points isn't even in the playoffs. So what difference does it make?
They were in the playoffs. That's going to bring up the next question. Good tie-in.
They were? So
Yeah,
that's
they
past
were in the
tense. You know
playoffs.
that, right? They were.
Yes, I literally said it's been all over the media verse. I
But
literally
you
just said
but
this.
you said were. So they're no longer in the playoffs
No,
as of
no.
today.
As
So
of
it was the
yet.
Boston Bruins that were the
Yes.
President's Cup. I
Yes.
already knew that.
Okay, then you didn't know.
I
What the
just
President's
didn't know
Cup-
what the President's Cup stood for. Because
Okay, all
honestly,
right.
that's not even important if you're not in the playoffs no longer.
Okay, well, that'll bring up the next question perfectly. Can you name the last 4 teams to win the President's Cup?
No. The Boston Bruins. Probably the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
That's 5.
He's got 2.
Washington Capitals? No. Edmonton Oilers.
No.
Oh, fuck around. Dallas Stars?
Mm-mm.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. All right, Cletus, you might get him, man.
Tampa
Two-
Bay.
two
Hold on.
away.
I said Boston Bruins, Tampa Bay, Colorado Avalanche. Hold on.
They're not in order, by the way, but I'm gonna give them to you.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to think of.
So far, Josh, he's got 3 out of 5.
I have a question on this. Question on this, Jack, once he gets done.
No, go ahead. Ask your question. I'm thinking.
Does the one team count twice?
Boston Bruins.
No,
What?
they don't count
They don't-
twice.
They don't count twice.
Oh,
Why
well
would they
then.
count twice? Oh, they do count twice, but
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Yes.
So he has 4 of the 5
He
so
has 4
far.
out of the 5.
So
He's
okay,
missing
so
one.
the Boston Bruins were twice.
Can I give him a hint?
Yep.
Hang
You're
on.
missing
Colorado Avalanche, and who's the other one that I said?
Tampa.
Oh yeah, Tampa Bay. Okay.
You're missing last year's President's Cup winner.
Yeah. They're playing
2022.
They're playing at the moment, by the way.
Oh, Toronto Maple
That's
Leafs.
a big hint.
Nope.
The Dallas Stars.
No.
Nope.
They're playing right now.
Seattle?
Right now.
At this moment.
Florida
At this-
Panthers?
So dude got hit in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were trash last year.
Oh, you got them on. No, they were the President's Cup. So
Oh.
your next question is going to come up.
They didn't
to
even make the playoffs last year, so
They did make the playoffs. Anyway, continue. But teams with the most points is the President's Cup winner. You mentioned 5, kind of the new one, President's Cup. So you got it right. So this year was the Boston Bruins.
yeah.
Last year was the 21-22 Panthers, the Colorado Avalanche, the 19-20 Bruins, the 18-19 Lightning, 17 and 18 Predators. Those are all the President's Cup winners that you mentioned. So far you're 1-1 at the bait, or 1-2. So you're good. Next question. All right. So it's a curse. All right, to win the President's Cup in hockey. You know, if you didn't know that, it's like the
Outside of the
mandatory-
Avalanche.
No. All right.
Oh no, they didn't win it that year.
When and who was the last team to win the President's Cup and the
Washington
Stanley Cup
Capitals.
the same year? And what year was that?
Washington Capitals?
What year?
2015.
Mm-mm.
16.
You're not. It's not even the Capitals, Papa.
Oh, well, you could have led with that. You just said what year. So I assumed that, it was the Washington Capitals.
Right now, I'm winning the bet.
Same.
Like,
same.
right? Like the way he did this, he was like,
Yeah.
okay, what year?
Yeah.
Whoa,
I thought you had it too. I was like, oh,
The
shit,
Tampa Bay
Ovechkin.
Lightning in 2019.
Mm-mm.
It
The
hasn't
Blues
happened.
won that
I'll
year.
tell you this. It hasn't happened in 20 years.
Oh, then I wouldn't know.
10 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Oh, can I take a guess
yeah,
at it?
yeah, I don't know.
New Jersey Devils.
The Pittsburgh Penguins in 1995.
Hasn't happened in 10 years. 10 years from we're in 23.
You just told me 20 years. Which one is it?
Yeah, you just said 20.
10.
Horrible
It's 10.
question maker.
Really? They won the cup that year
Who was it?
in 03?
I didn't
You
even.
have, you,
Is it 10 years? Or
I'm
20
so
years?
fired up that you're not
It's-
even giving me the appropriate questions,
it's
timelines,
10 years.
nothing.
Okay. When and who was the last team to win the President's Cup and Stanley Cup in the same year? Just so you know, it's a curse, and it's been 10 years since it happened. Almost 11.
Oh yeah. That kind of makes sense. I looked it
Where
up,
did
but
20 years come from?
Yeah.
10
You
years.
have- It's So we're 23. It happened in 2012.
2012, 2013.
Yeah, 2012, 2013. It's that same year. When's hockey start? Slappies.
Well, MF, look at. Why am I saying MF? Fucker, listen. You have a 2012 winner, and you have a 2013 winner.
Okay, so it's 2012, 2013 year.
2012, 2013.
So the 13 President's Cup winner.
Yes.
Okay, that. Can I give him a hint?
Yes.
They're part of the original 6.
He won't know who the original 6 are. That's a terrible. Okay, this character wears it in our favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes, they did it in 2012.
That's easy.
The last team to do it.
13.
Because they had Patrick Kane,
Slappy.
Jonathan Taves. That's cake.
You didn't. That's cake.
They won it.
That's
Hey,
cake.
I could
Yeah.
name the players on the team. Their goalie was Corey Crawford.
Yes, that's when we got real big into hockey because
Yeah, like I knew that. I just you said 10 years, 20 years, so I'm trying to think like probably like the 1950s Boston Bruins or some shit.
I was thinking it was like the 99 Stars. The way you being a Stars.
I know
fan.
that the Pittsburgh Penguins did win the President's Cup and the Stanley Cup in the same year. I don't know the year, but I know that they did because Mario Lemieux led the league in points for like 5 years in a row.
No idea what you're
it hasn't happened in a very long time. That's why it's a curse, and that's why the Florida that's why it was all over social media that the Panthers just took out the hottest team in hockey. We literally talked 3 weeks ago that the Boston Bruins were going to win the Stanley Cup of how good they played, and here comes the Florida Panthers.
The Florida Panthers is fire.
Someone on this
Florida
podcast
Panthers
made
last
the comment
year.
of
Which the Florida Panthers won the President's Cup last year. So it might be a trend. The team that won the President's Cup the year before, the next year wins the Stanley Cup because the Avalanche has happened. They won the President's Cup and they won the Stanley Cup. Just to throw that out there. But
time for some research.
No, they did. They won the Stanley Cup last
No, I'm
year,
talking-
and then they won the President's Cup the year prior. So that is
That's what I'm saying. Research, like to go back.
shut up. That doesn't matter.
What'd you say? What'd you say? I didn't hear you. That's right. You're in timeout now. You don't tell me to shut up. Okay.
I'm the captain of this.
I'm a little.
I'm the captain of this. I'm the captain of this.
I'll
ship,
say this
okay?
real quick. Speaking of hockey, I am a big fan of like the Krakens, like their design.
You don't say that. You shut your mouth.
You
It's
shut
it's a
your
good look.
You
mouth.
shut your mouth.
It's a good look.
Shut your mouth.
Shut up.
It's a good look.
Shut up.
Go Stars, go though. But it's a good
Cletus,
look.
Cletus, I agree with whatever Jack and Adam. They can't say nothing because they're muted right now. But I agree. I love release the Kraken. But
Fuck
we
you,
all
Josh.
know.
Fuck you. Go
We
Stars,
all
go.
know. Absolutely. We all know it's Dallas
Stars.
Star.
Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars.
Star. We all know it's that. All right. Anyways, there is our fabulous Jack
Anyway.
has done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Have you got more questions?
No.
I'm glad he's not Steve Harvey because these questions suck.
You're just mad because you lost the bet.
Out of 100 contestants, how many of them were born in 1959?
I gave you first off, I know you're on the social media.
He went under, so y'all lost. the
Yes,
bet.
I know. But
I won.
Slappy, I literally had faith in you to let me down. I thought you know these questions.
I don't know about the President's Cup. I didn't know about that. I don't know why that's such an extraordinary piece of hockey because it never pays off.
It worked out in 12 and 13.
Okay, well, 12 and 13, we're in 2023. And
Hey,
the team
we
that won it
said-
is sitting at home watching the team that beat them in Game 7 from 3-1.
Hey, I will. I am going to be curious now that I'm going to go do some research tomorrow or whenever
That
I
would
think
be an
about it
interesting
again.
stat to see.
I'm going to go back and look across the 4 major professional leagues in the United States. The teams that have had the best overall record, how many of them have won the championship that same year? I'm going to go
Hey,
back
we
and do that
did.
research.
That was a baseball question. Remember?
Hey, $5.
Well,
right?
yeah, but I'm going to do all 4 leagues. So I'm going to go
Okay.
back and look. Yeah, we did baseball last
Who
week.
had
With
Because
best
the New
overall
England
record.
Patriots had an almost perfect season, and they lost. So that's
Who had
another one.
better Eagles or Chiefs? They were both identical.
They had the same. They had the same record. But the year prior, when Tampa Bay beat the Chiefs had the better record, and the Chiefs lost because the Chiefs were the number 1, and they lost in the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers.
NBA. Who is
The best record in the NBA lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, down 3-1.
interesting stat, Joshua? Look it up.
I will.
The only one that I know that had the best record and still won that's fresh on my mind is obviously the Chicago Bulls, because when they went 72-10, they won the championship.
Dolphins.
Didn't
No, but
The
but
Dolphins
I'm
are the
talking
only
about,
team
like,
in history that's had a perfect season.
No. So you're talking about like best overall for the whole entire history of the league. I'm just talking about per year.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
ooh.
Gotcha.
This year,
How
you
they
talking about
see
this
how-
year?
Oh,
No, like
last year.
I don't know how far back I'm gonna go in my research. I'm just talking about, like, all right. So in the NFL, the team that had the best record, how did they do? The team in the NBA with the best record overall this past year, how they do, or like last year.
The
Same
best
with
record this year
baseball.
was the Milwaukee Bucks.
And they
Well,
got out.
you know though,
So I could tell you that one.
the early 2000
Oh, yeah.
Lakers, they had to have the best record sometime and won a championship with Shaq and Kobe.
That's like the late '90s Yankees.
Right. You would assume they would have the best record and win the championship.
Yeah.
The best
So I'm
record.
just saying, like, if I wanted to, like, I'm gonna go back the last 10 years in each league and see whichever team just overall for that year had the best record and see how well they did, or see if they won a championship, and
Mhm.
see if there's a correlation to it, or see if there is a, like, cursive.
Well, it's always like, especially like the NBA, and it always seems like it's the hot or the baseball too. Once a team kind of gets rolling in like October, I mean that team's
Yeah.
usually the one that rolls to the World Series.
Hey, that's going on in hockey right now. The Florida Panthers,
Right.
they
They
rolling
just
hot right
They
now.
just won 3-2.
This is their sixth game. This is their 6th win in a row.
Cracking 2, boys. Cracking 2.
Unfortunately.
But hey, quick,
Anyway.
I do got another thing that kind of brings me up about the new hockey. So think about this. So Vegas and Seattle are both expansion teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those expansion teams have been in Stanley Cups and in playoffs their first couple years in existence. Why? Because they're taking developed players from other teams and making their team, because they're not drafting fresh. They're taking from teams that already have players and putting them on their team.
All right. So how does
Which is, to me,
so-
isn't, because you think about Vegas has a guy and Seattle has a guy that both were on the Stars when they first started. So now those guys are successful because they've already got people that are developed. Well, these other teams. So think about
all right.
this.
So
Chicago
y'all
Blackhawks.
help-
Well, and
They're not in the playoffs, and they're one of the original 6, right? When they have a bad year, we know it because they have to start from the ground up. Their people gone, like their cats are gone. Well, Seattle and Vegas have been relevant for the last. Vegas has been 4 years, and Seattle just started, and now they're in the playoffs. It's because that's the reason why. So when their time to rebuild and sustain, it's time to see at that point in time.
So here's my question though, on talking about expansion. Like MLB, or really NFL, like you just get free agents, don't you? You don't get to sign the best people off.
We've
each team.
never experienced it.
Well,
for
the
baseball.
Texans.
Yeah.
The Texans in
I don't
what
remember
did the
that.
Texans get developed?
I don't-
2002,
Yeah.
Yeah.
05, somewhere in there.
That's what I was about to ask because I didn't look at it. I haven't seen nothing, whatever. But like when the Kraken and the Golden Knights were formed and came into the NHL and they went through and they had their draft,
They took players.
like obviously they didn't have a draft over anybody they wanted, but who
They got
like
the reserves
I-
or the
who
bench players.
Well, number
Those are-
one, the Golden Knights got the best goalie in hockey that year when they went to the Stanley Cup. They got the best hockey, and Marc-Andre Fleury was their goalie their
how?
first year.
That's
I don't
that's
know
what I'm
how
trying to-
they
like
I don't know
how.
how they
I
determined it,
know.
but
They
I'm
got
just
him
saying
because
that
it's a
that's just what
draft.
they did. They picked up
Yeah,
players
but
from
how
other teams instead of
But
free
how does that
agency.
work? Like
Go ahead.
how does like I don't know if y'all know or not. I'm just curious, but how does that process work?
I
So-
know like each team has like they can designate like what 2 or 3 players to like protect. Basically,
Yes.
you can't touch them.
Yes, and they could pick out of each team who they wanted, but that was untouchable from someone else. So there's four lines,
Start.
4 lines of forwards and 3 or 4 lines of defense. Well, say this line's untouchable, but all the other people are touchable. So any like the Seattle Kraken and Las Vegas Knights could have gone through 30 teams, any of the 30 teams and picked any player they wanted from that team that was touchable. And that's exactly what's a perfect example of what we're seeing why Vegas and Seattle are pretty good. Is because that's why. Because if I'm an original 6 guy and I don't win, if I'm not in the playoffs, I get knocked out by an expansion team, I'm kind of hot for that reason. Because when they have bad years, the original 6, they have bad years. They fire coaches. Like Calgary fired their coach. Well, last year, they were a game away from making it to the Western Conference Final. Against who?
Dallas Stars.
The best team to me last year was the Colorado Avalanche.
60 save game by the Otter.
But the Flames went to the. Never mind. You're way in a different ballpark. But they lost to Vegas, and Vegas played Colorado in the Western Conference Final. But that's I don't know. I got to look more into that. But to me, that seems like, is that really fair? If you think about it, so think about Jalen Brunson. This was brought to my attention. So Jalen Brunson was drafted by Dallas, right? And then the whole free agency kicked. But it's kind of like Dallas developed him. Now the Knicks are reaping the benefit of someone else developing this player and making him a superstar in New York. It's kind of the same concept as what the expansion league kind of did.
That's exactly what's going on with old boy Jack Eichel that plays for the Vegas Golden Knights. He was the 2nd overall pick by the Buffalo Sabres, right behind Connor McDavid. And we know who the fuck Connor McDavid is. That motherfucker plays no games.
Yeah.
And then you got him. He was the 2nd overall pick who the Buffalo Sabres molded him, trained him everything to be. They gave him everything he wanted, and he demanded a trade. Didn't request. He demanded, said he would not play till he got traded. He got put on a Vegas Golden Knights team, which makes it unfair to every team in the NHL because Vegas Golden Knights are basically getting the best players already. They got Pietrangelo, who also came from the Boston Bruins last year.
Yep. So that's an interesting topic for expansion teams. Exactly why they're like, hey, let's put a team in Seattle. That's why. Vegas spot.
Oh, $1.99 Wi-Fi.
Oh, internet. Can we say real quick?
Jack, you with us?
Dallas
Stars.
They're about to
Dallas
Stars. They're about to get rolling.
Yeah.
Let's
So
freaking go.
Let's go.
Oh, there's internet goes.
Hello, Yak.
cheap
Are you
Wi-Fi.
back with us now or
Oh
what?
my goodness. But anyway, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Hey.
Dang,
yeah.
Otter has a 92% save percentage.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Otter,
yeah.
baby.
Hey,
The
but
brick wall
hold
of Otter.
on. We're going to go back to the whole Calgary Flames situation because you said that they fired their coach because, but they were one game away from the Stanley Cup,
Last
yada,
year.
yada, yada.
Last year,
but number one, they lost Johnny
didn't lose the Stars in
Gaudreau.
the first round.
They lost Johnny Gaudreau, who
Yes.
was their highest goal scorer. Then they lost Matthew Tkachuk, who is the second best American-born player in the NHL currently, right behind Austin
Oh,
Matthews.
yes, I get you.
So, I mean, what are you gonna do?
No,
That's
I
like
get
if we
you.
were to, if
I
the
get
Dallas
you.
Stars were to lose Jake Ottinger, we wouldn't even be where we are right now.
I agree.
Same situation. That's why I mean, that
I'm
coach getting
saying
fired isn't his fault, but
but they fired him. That's what I'm talking about.
it's stupid because that's not really his fault. He lost 2 of his most points scored, and you're basically in a rebuild.
Well, like what the Bucks just did.
I'm more on the Mark Jackson train. That boy molded the Golden State Warriors, and Steve Kerr got to reap those benefits.
Agree.
That boy Mark Jackson is so blackballed by the NBA, it drives me nuts.
Why? Like, why
Good
is
question.
that?
Because
that's $1 million question. Because
I absolutely agree.
I don't know why
Steph Curry wasn't shit. Klay Thompson wasn't shit. Draymond Green still not shit, but he not shit. But I'm just saying, like, Mark Jackson went in there and he was like, hey, we're going to shoot the ball like this. We're going to play like this. And then Steph Curry started to show out.
Those guys, he drafted those guys. And he drafted the next guys. And he literally drafted those 6 guys that the Warriors have now that are their franchise player. They drafted all 6 of those by Mark Jackson's regime. He gets to so think about when Dallas was on their hot streak. When Dallas went to their era, they lost the first round. Next, they lost to the second round. Then they finally made it to the Western Conference Finals, lose, and then they go to the finals and finally break the ceiling. Well, guess what happened? Mark Jackson gets to the first round, they lose. Next year, they go to the second round. Then he goes to the Western Conference Finals, loses. Then they fire him. Well, then the next year, guess what happens? Steve Kerr comes in, and they go in the NBA Finals.
Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree.
The
with
Mavericks
that
need Mark Jackson. That's what we need. Jason Kidd has already failed with the team that Budenholzer came in and won a championship with. Get Jason Kidd out of here.
That's true, too.
You're firing the wrong coaches, Mark Cuban.
Hey, was Kidd also with the Nets? Or am I
Yeah, he
wrong?
was with the Nets.
Yeah.
So was he with the Nets when they had? Were they with Durant and Kyrie and all
No.
them or no?
No, he
was before that.
them.
Okay.
But he was there.
They
He
had
was
a decent team though.
he had Giannis when he was at the Bucks.
Sure.
He still had True Holiday when he was at the Bucks. Like the Bucks team really hasn't changed in like 10 years.
Yeah, I'm about to say
That's
it.
why they
But I
kinda-
feel like this offseason they're about to.
That's
change
why they
as well.
kind of. I guess that's kind of the change. The thing they fired him just to get a change.
Yeah.
Well, they fired Nurse in Toronto.
Yeah,
It's the
that
same
didn't make
concept.
sense to me either.
That's kind of the same concept. I mean,
But-
as a coach, you hate seeing a coach being fired, but if you want to change, like, you could probably tell them you're trying to change something without. But anyway, that's just the business world talking. But
Speaking of the, I think it's the Raptors or the Rockets, one of the two. I think it's the Raptors. I saw a stat the other day that said that the Raptors are the first team in the NBA to have 2 coaches win Coach of the Year in a 3-year period and fire both of them.
yes, that's a crazy stat.
Hell yeah. Joe
Go
Toronto.
Raptor. Go
Hey,
Raptor.
Nick Nurse was a good coach, though. I like Nick Nurse.
I agree.
I'm surprised you're not a Raptors fan because it's the dinosaur, Josh.
Dinosaur.
Hi, Mr. Dinosaur.
Don't do that on
Raptor you.
camera.
Or I'm just gonna put audio up. Anyways, so we've talked about a couple of different sports segments that we talked about beforehand.
Layup.
But
Hey, kitty.
But to switch topics a little bit and go back to last Thursday through Saturday. If you don't know, it was the NFL draft.
If you don't know, get out of a rock.
Get out from under a mother
Clear
rock,
it.
okay?
Clear it.
I watched majority of the entire draft. The first round, I fell asleep by the time it got to, I don't know, the late teens, early 20s, because it was kind of getting late.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the second round. It was good. I watched the third round. I was peeking
I was
around.
watching that.
Always the third through the second and third is Friday night. So the 4th through 7th round,
That's where you
I
find
kind
your
of watch
dudes.
it.
Yeah.
True, but I watch it from the standpoint of like I like to see former kids that come through that get drafted that were former like high school superstars or were college superstars that get drafted late. You know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. Like Stetson Bennett, for example, going to the Rams. Um, yeah, whatever. But anyways,
Fort Bend Marshall, dude. Come on
yes,
now,
sir.
you
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
pendejo.
I know, pendejo. Ha.
Fort Bend Marshall can run
Anyways,
some track. They're fast.
they can. They
They
can.
fast. They make fast people
Them
look
boys
not
not fast.
fast.
They some fast people down there at Fort Bend. Um, do we have what's our reactions to the draft? Like I said earlier in our pre-show, I was 3 for 3. You know, I said that Bryce Young would go. I said CJ Stroud would go next, and then I said Will Anderson would be third. Even though the Cardinals would probably trade. Um, but for you guys that watched at least, I would say maybe the first 10 picks or so. Anything that surprised you? Anything that where you when you saw it, you were like, "What the hell are they doing?" Or "Hey,
Titans.
that was a great," or "That was a great pick."
Well, what? Taking the
No,
old boy
I-
from Northwestern?
I think like what's we'll never know until like maybe when he's dead. But the reason why what's his name went to the second round and not the first round when they told him he was a top 10 and he ended up going to the second round next day.
Who,
Levis.
Levis?
Because he's
Yeah.
trash.
I
Well, I
In
mean,
the
I
Reds
think-
are
Basura,
persuaded.
basura.
to get him.
I think he was pumped up. I think through all the draft process, sometimes I think there's always a couple of prospects that get pumped up too much to the point where they think they're going to go somewhere, and then reality sets in on draft night, and they don't go there because we talked
He's
about
not
it.
that good. He's garbage.
Obviously, he's pretty
Wait,
good
but
to
we
get drafted
talked about
second
it.
round.
That's true.
Well, the Titans will draft anybody.
To their opinion, yes. I just don't. I think that's
But we
we
talked about
wasted
it.
too much draft capital or to trade him again. His dumbass.
But also last week, I
Fuck
believe on
him.
the podcast, we did talk about on the podcast that
Tell me how you really feel.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah,
By the
that could be
way,
a whole show
I'm a
too.
free agent fandom because I did say if Will Levitt gets drafted by the fucking Titans, I'm leaving those motherfuckers.
Hey, you still got
Hey, the Cowboys will
got
take you.
Tannehill,
You don't
so.
want the Rams.
I don't want. I make fun of the Cowboys too much to be a Cowboys fan.
Nah,
Okay,
come on
who
over.
last
You know
won?
you want to.
Who last won a Super Bowl? That's what I want.
Oh, this guy. That's your only
Who's
argument.
rebuilding right now?
What?
Who's rebuilding right now?
Who
I
hasn't
don't
been
know.
built? The Titans.
I don't. Wait, can you see it? Hold up.
I can't see it. What is that?
It says
I'm a
champion.
douchebag and bald.
No.
Is that what that hat
No.
says?
My goodness.
I like to
I'm
get
about to say,
Rams.
I think about this. Well, speaking of that, I think the Rams have won 2 Super Bowls since the last time that either one of y'all's teams have been in a Super Bowl.
Well,
so
I don't think the Titans have been to the
We-
Super Bowl, so I think
They
you're safe
have.
there.
Music
They
City
got
of
beat by the
Miracle.
Rams.
Actually, they have.
They got beat by the
Titans have
Rams.
been.
They
They
got beat by the
Rams.
greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
2001? Is that right? No.
No,
99.
99.
That's right. Because all three of my teams played for a championship in 99. The Stars, the Spurs, and the Titans.
Damn.
And they're in 2-1.
Yes. 2-1.
He was almost three, baby. Yeah.
Yep, happy hour short. Anyways, I
Damn,
know.
one
that's
yard
the story of your life. Isn't it?
1 yard short.
Let's go. All right, so let's go through this like this. So, Cleat, no bias included. What were some of your takeaways from the draft, both positive and negative? Like, so, what were some things that you saw? Like, hey, that was good, or hey, I don't think that's going to work out well. So, Cleat,
I'm
start
more
us off
shocked.
with
Who was it that traded up? That traded
The
back?
Texans.
Was it the Texans?
Yeah.
You know,
they got
Texans-
2
the
and
Texans-
3 back to back.
right?
Yes.
Because they got who they drafted. 2 is Stroud and 3 was who?
Will Anderson.
Anderson. I like the Anderson pick, man.
I like
I think
everything.
he's gonna be a dog.
I liked
And I
everything
think
the Texans did. Everything.
I think Stroud
man.
is going to be dog.
I think-
I'm pissed as a Titans fan because the Texans, I think, have gotten better.
Where's their O line?
That's very true. I think defensively, Anderson's going to be a good player. I think Stroud's going to be a good player. I think.
I think the top 3 players are going to be good. They're going to have solid input.
Who did the
Anyway, go ahead, Cleek.
Tyreek Wilson? I thought it was pretty cool that
The Raiders.
That tweet I sent y'all. He went to West Rusk, which with the Raiders. He graduated from Tech Red Raiders, and he ended up going to the Oakland Raiders. So he's been a Raider his whole life.
It's Vegas Raiders.
I also want to throw this. I
okay.
also want to throw this. Out there that last week on the podcast, who did I say that the Raiders were going to draft?
Tyreek Wilson.
Okay, wow, man. Whoop.
You want a fucking cookie too?
Wow.
Shit.
Wow.
I'll take whatever y'all motherfuckers gonna do.
Wait, what was that? I didn't hear that. Go back.
Adam, what I said was last week.
I'm a bitch. That's what he said. I'm a bitch.
No, we threw our draft predictions up there last year for the first 10, and I went 3 for 3 the first 3, and then I said that Tyree Wilson would go
Tyreek
to the Raiders.
Say his fucking name right. If you're gonna
Tell him.
That
he would go to the Raiders.
He did say that he was going to the Raiders.
Whoopee. I was
okay. He's had terrible takes on every show. He's get 1 draft pick right, or 4 now, that he thinks he's God's gift to sports takes.
So this man picked C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Will Anderson.
He did. He picked him.
That was a really easy combination to pick.
Exactly.
Very true.
And he's eating.
Hell no! Hell no!
And he is eating it up like he's got candy on Halloween.
What do y'all think?
No.
Go to timeout. You are on timeout, sir. Bye. Put yourself on timeout.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think of the old boy from Florida, the quarterback,
Anthony Richardson? I had already made a comment about that. I think that he'll be good.
I know. You think who'd he go to? I can't remember.
Colts.
The Colts.
He's not going to be good right away because the Colts are ass. But
they at least have a decent offensive line to protect him.
I think Stroud will be a bust.
You think Stroud will be the bust?
Actually, in my opinion, this is what I've said. I think the biggest bust out of the top 10 is Bijan because they didn't get no help up front.
Oh,
Falcons.
The Falcons.
I can see that.
I don't know. That one didn't make any sense to me. Why they drafted Bijan?
Well, they're trying to do what the Giants did. Well, think about this: Saquon was good on a terrible team. Bijan is going to be good on a terrible team. Like they're going to get a running back and then try to build an offense or an O-line to that. Well, they're limited, or running backs are limited in their career when you're trying to do that.
They have so many carries.
Barry Sanders, a perfect example, like his career was cut short because they were trying to build to him, but they finally built to him. His body's like beat up. Megatron, perfect example, same thing. So
Derrick Henry,
like a perfect example,
getting there, yeah.
If you draft a running back, make sure you are solid up front. And then you can just pick up your running back and then pick up another offensive or defensive lineman to help you out, solidify. What woke my eyes up for sure for this draft before I picked my picks? I don't give a crap. What woke my eyes up is the AFC teams getting weapons for their quarterbacks and NFC teams getting defensive linemen and linebackers to get to the AFC quarterbacks because they know the next 10 years is going to be owned by those AFC quarterbacks. The NFC doesn't have solid quarterbacks. Like the Aaron Rodgers move to me was like questionable because you're about to go to the juggernaut of quarterbacks in AFC.
That's why he did it. He wants to show everybody he still got it.
You crazy? He could still have it. That's regardless.
He basically brought the Packers to the Jets. He got Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard.
I'm just like,
next thing you know, probably David Bakhtiari's. Who the fuck knows?
But like the crazy thing is the Jets division is they got the Patriots.
Trash.
The Dolphins are better. The Dolphins are better. The Bills are. We'll see.
Yes,
good.
But like, think about this: you have Patrick Mahomes,
they won't be
Josh
last.
Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Now Aaron Rodgers. That's 7.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. That's
Who's the
8.
Russell
Chargers.
Wilson, get
Was
the
the Chargers.
fuck out of here.
Well, I'm just saying, like now.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, I'm just saying, like
let me start
Get
naming all the
outta
quarterbacks
here.
in the AFC now.
but that like those 6 I named before Aaron Rodgers are all Lamar Jackson. Like those are studs in the AFC. NFC, you could literally be terrible in the NFC and then go to the playoffs and meet a decent defensively or offensive team and beat them.
How about this?
I think the Tampa Bay Bucks made the playoffs last year, guys.
How about the Eagles getting better?
Well, what they draft?
How about the motherfucking Eagles becoming the motherfucking Eagle Bulldogs?
Yes. I mean, what did they draft? That rolls back to my take, brothers.
Yeah.
What did I just say the NFC guys did?
We're agreeing with you.
Oh,
No, I know that. I'm just saying it's just crazy how, especially like since Cletus has said it, but like the Eagles are literally not almost position for position, but the Eagles are literally rebuilding the Georgia defense with some other characters, whatnot. It's just crazy because like last year they got the Davis kid and the Kobe Dean, and then this year they get Jalen Carter and
Nolan Smith.
Ringo.
I like that pick of
and-
Jalen Carter. I think he's probably one of the best players in that draft.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
He's a dog.
Dog. Literally.
From watching the
Who's
first
the best
round,
player in the draft?
To me,
I think I said Jalen Carter. I thought he was one.
to me,
one of the best.
I said it. If he was on a better team, he'd be a heck of a lot better. But I thought it was Bijan Robinson.
They weren't absolutely terrible, but yes,
He can
I
do.
agree.
Bijan can do a lot, but
I'm telling you, he's going to struggle. He's going to be good, but then he's
Yeah.
going to struggle because he's on the Falcons.
he's
What
one of
did
those guys-
the Saints do? What did the Saints just do too? Can you tell me? They loaded up on what? Defense. They think Derek Carr's their guy.
Yeah. I'll say that Bijan's probably gonna be one of those guys in fantasy football you draft
Yes,
because he's like
I
their
literally
only
said that.
weapon, and he's
Yes.
gonna get the ball. He's gonna get the ball 40 times a
That's
game.
literally what I told somebody I work with. I was like, Bijan is going to be the guy you draft in your fantasy sleeper cell or whatever. You draft him just because he's
Mhm.
going to get you a lot of points because he's on
Hot
a team
take.
that's not going to.
Hot take. He gets injured.
I can
see
see that. Hey, how about
I can
this?
see it too.
The kid.
Don't
like,
draft
the
him. He's
Northwestern-
draft bait.
The Northwestern kid freaking getting the phone call in a bar. He's a freaking damn lineman in the dang
What's wrong,
restaurant
man?
bar. Damn
That's
bar.
what
Let the
talking
man
about
be at the
linemen.
titty bar. The titty
Linemen.
bar.
Linemen are a different breed, man.
Oh, it's
Let them go where they want to go to be drafted.
They don't
Okay.
and you don't have to dress up. Man, if I'm getting a call, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt and khaki shorts.
Hey, you want to know what? If I'm Will Levis, I wouldn't have been at the draft. I'll tell you that.
oh my god.
Well,
Hey,
like
man.
we mentioned that earlier.
that
I guess
got
we walked off,
awkward.
but we said that. It was like at the point where it's like you feel
It
bad
was
for
awkward.
the guy.
I don't feel
It
bad
was
for him.
awkward.
You know. I know that your confidence is going to get the better of you, but everybody that's drafting in front of you, before you, while you're there, y'all are all there together. You saw his season. You saw their season. You played against half of these players. He was in the SEC. Like, what was he thinking? He thought that he was going to get drafted before Bryce Young. He thought that he was going to get drafted before
Right.
Jalen Carter. Like, he played
He did.
against half of these draft picks.
Like what should have creeped into his mind was that like obviously we had Bryce, CJ, and then Anthony went, and then like literally if you really broke it down after those teams, like no other team truly needed a quarterback in the first
Yeah,
round.
that's what we were talking about when we were watching it. So
But like I think we talked about that last week too with the quarterback stuff. It's like after the first 3, 4, 5 picks that there wouldn't be a quarterback needed. So like because and no offense to the young man, and if he has a great career, tip his hat to him. But like, I know he has all the measurables and stuff like that. But like, I don't think Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's going to be the next Jamarcus Russell, but I don't think his career is going to pan out to what they won him as the fourth round pick. As the fourth overall pick. If that makes sense.
Hey, to be fair, Will Levis was a senior this year, so he had to come out.
No, I know,
Sure.
but he didn't have to go to the draft party.
No,
The man didn't have to
no,
sit in the
I
green
see what you're
room as
saying.
if he's the guy.
But we appreciate him for doing that because
We wouldn't
Pick
have
number
nobody to
3
make fun of.
freaking pick
well,
number.
not that, but
freaking-
just,
Yes, I know where you're going. I know where
You know,
you're
the-
going.
yeah, you know
Go to the
We
DMs,
don't-
ladies.
me. Yeah, you know.
Oh, he's talking about his baby girl on the TV.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, nothing gets by you, Sherlock.
Well, I was just trying to figure out what he was talking about, and then I've just seen a lot of videos of him sitting in the room, and I was
Nothing
like,
gets
"Wait,
by
what's
you.
going on?"
his girl going.
Nothing gets
Yeah.
by you,
I think-
Batman.
Jackson like a meme or something of Levis, and it was like McVay called, and it's like, "Hello, is this blah blah blah?" And it's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Put your girl on the phone."
We're taking
gonna
you with
draft
the
your
third
girl.
pick.
That was pretty good. But anyway, so overall, I thought the draft was pretty good. The first round was good. Um, one of my favorite parts of the draft for the last I don't know how many years is the very beginning when Roger Goodell goes up to the podium for the first
And he
time.
gets
All
booed.
you hear is
The boo birds.
That's one of my favorite parts. And he get up there and he's like, "Yeah, make it loud."
Wait, that's what we're. He's like, man,
Yeah.
dude, you're getting booed, man.
Yeah. Obviously, he knows what's going on, but sometimes I feel like they overdo it with their pre-draft show or whatever.
Yes, they
There
do.
was,
But
there was
Who
like
are the two
I was
slappers
up
there was
till
like four of
fucking
them.
midnight trying to watch them draft for the Cowboys to draft.
Who are the two slappies
Yeah.
that Goodell spent like 20 minutes talking with?
Bro,
No idea.
what
I just know they
slappy does he not spend 20 minutes talking
It
to?
literally said it started at 7 or 6:30 or 7 o'clock. The first pick did not happen until 7:20.
Why did it feel like the first overall pick took all 10 minutes?
yes,
Right?
and I've seen that too. But like, if you're the first team,
You know who
You
you're
should-
picking.
you like unless you have like whatever, like it's like draft day from the movie or whatever. Like, you should know, like, all right, draft's coming. Hey, this kid right here, he's our kid. We're not gonna have his second.
Or is it the NFL telling those guys, "Hey, slow down because we got to get some TV time"?
No, it's the
Probably.
fact they knew it, and they probably knew who the pick was right when they put him on the clock, but they had to do all this spectacle BS. They knew.
Well,
I think it was.
That's what it's saying. That's what
but
it's
think
saying.
about this too is they had that Panther logo for 20 minutes.
Yes.
So that's free for them. It's free advertising.
Yeah.
You know.
But is it though? You're the first pick because you were terrible.
But hey,
Well,
good
no,
or
they
bad,
trade-
hey,
they
good or
they
bad,
traded into
free
that
advertising is
pick.
free advertising.
They did trade into that pick. So.
Hey, brother, it ain't free. That's costing you millions of dollars.
That's true. From a franchise that makes millions of dollars, so they'll be okay.
But I'm
right?
saying
We all know.
it's not free advertising because they're paying to be
No.
where they are.
No, and they literally paid to get to the number one spot. But yeah, it is interesting. I do like it how sometimes for teams they bring out old superstars to announce picks and whatnot.
It is cool.
Oh,
I like that, or how they have special organizations come and they have those individuals
mhm.
announce the picks. I like that and cool.
A few years ago when it was in Tennessee, when McAfee retired, he retired with like two other guys. He told the story in his podcast, going like, these two guys were in announcing the picks for the draft, and then with the third round, the Colts had a chimp. I got replaced by a chimp.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
Ugh.
Yes. But they just got to make it a big show because guess what?
Oh, yeah.
We watched it.
Yes.
We watched it.
And I do like them breaking the draft down to 3 days. The first round being that Thursday, 2 and 3 being that
Yeah,
Friday, and 4, 5,
I
6,
agree.
7 being on Saturday. I like that better than. And y'all remember that I mean, that draft would start like what 9 a.m. and it would go all day on that
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Then
No, I like to break down too, because it brings a little bit of more importance to, for example, like the first round, because it's all the first round on Thursday night. So like you're excited at least for the first, I would say maybe 15 picks, and then
Until your team
I don't know how
picks.
you. Yeah,
right,
I don't know how y'all feel,
I was
but
up there till
like
I was
Thursday
watching till
night,
23 Cowboys pick. So.
yeah,
$26.
it's sometimes hard, especially when it's late at night. When it starts at 7 and it gets to 9:30, 10
Hey,
o'clock, 10:30,
I'm
or
up right now
whatever.
watching the stars. It's bedtime.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's You're talking about NHL playoffs. We're talking about NFL playoff draft. Excuse
I
me.
think I went to bed like
When
at
it's
pick 20.
later.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I
was
went
right
to
there
bed
too.
at pick 5, honestly.
Hmm.
I
Like
don't really.
I
I'm not
bet,
necessarily that interested in the draft. I
right.
think that everybody
I
that
love the
gets
draft.
drafted overall is gonna shift one way or the other, and the team that they
Mhm.
get drafted by, they don't normally stay.
Right.
Carson Wentz
That's
has been
okay.
thrown
So
around 4 different teams, and he was a second overall pick.
I'm kind of like that
so
with the
Now
draft
he's at
too.
home.
I'm
True.
kind of like that
so
with the
that's
draft too, but I do think it's
yeah.
interesting.
I like to watch it just from
Well,
because
it
I like to watch the draft. I'll let y'all go here.
no go.
I like to watch I like to watch the draft for a couple reasons. One, it's interesting to watch to see all of it, how they have all this highlight tapes and they talk about the kids, all 240 or 50, whatever how many there are, all of them or whatnot. Um, but a lot of the times, like I follow a bunch of like I'm big into recruiting for like college football and stuff like that. So a lot of these kids, like I've seen their names, I've heard about them since they were juniors or seniors in high school, and then they go through college and they get drafted. And it's just interesting to see where they fall into that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes coming out of high school, they're duped as the next greatest thing ever, and then they get drafted in the seventh round, or they're an unsigned free agent, and they don't make it in the NFL. So it's a thing. And then
I,
another thing that I had the other day, me being a stats guy, if you will, and being curious about stuff was just going back through and like going through all the draft picks and seeing on average, like comparing people that get drafted to people that don't get drafted, like who usually has longer careers in the NFL.
Hmm. And it was who? What was the answer?
No, I'm saying I would like to
Oh.
do that
Right. I know the draft for me is
or go round by round.
the draft for me is like it gives your team like hope. It gives. I mean, honestly, it gives fans that little bit of hope. Maybe we can compete now.
Go Titans! Go Titans!
Woo!
We got another quarterback.
Hey, we
I,
drafted offensive lineman, sir.
I like
First
it.
overall.
So, like, okay, you like to be a big draft guy and say top 10 picks or whatever are relevant. Well, you remember they made a big deal about Luke Jokel.
Yep, the Jaguars.
Mhm.
Where's he at now?
He
He's out
was
of the
out of the league in like 5 years.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right.
league. No, I'm just saying it's curious because like who was I
I
looking at? Oh, it was
Wasn't he like a
one of
one or
the
two number one overall pick?
yeah, because I was looking at there was a stat I saw that I was going to talk about like the same team. Okay, so the stat I saw was like what the Texans did in terms of being the first team to draft, I guess in the top 5 back to back. Like the last team to do it was the 2000 Redskins. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go look at the 2000 NFL draft and started reading about that, and totally forgot where I was going.
That a boy, Josh.
Yeah, totally just was the anyways. But what were we just talking about?
The
Oh my gosh.
2000 something draft.
2000
Washington.
draft. The
No, but
back-to-back number
before that,
ones.
right? Well, okay. So in 2000 draft,
All right, it sounds like
Penn State had 2 players drafted 1 and 2 overall, but the Redskins had draft picks 2 and 3.
I don't know where you're going.
I
We
don't
should
either.
just move on.
What I do appreciate with the draft too
Oh
us
shit.
us being
You're cut
us
off, sir.
being us being Texas high school football coaches and fans of Texas high school football is seeing those Texas high school athletes being drafted,
Yes.
and seeing where they came from. Like West Rusk, Missouri
Yeah.
City.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
just
Yeah, absolutely.
seeing,
Especially the small schools.
yeah, and
Rockwall.
seeing, yes,
Rockwall.
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 I mean, just seeing that and thinking, okay, he was a dude in high school, he was a dude in college,
Fort Bend Marshall.
right?
Yes.
I know this. Miami should be one of the faster teams in the NFL
Yes.
Amen.
with the cats they got.
with the Cats.
Yes, but they Dolphins.
Yeah, but I mean, how many more
Come
years?
on.
How many games is Tua gonna get to play this year with his broken skull?
Damn it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, come on, Lakers.
But I don't know.
Sorry, the Stars just blew a power play.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching it.
Anyway, we got the Stars going tonight. Hopefully, they can even their series against the Kragans.
Stop saying it like
Seattle.
That's so
I
stupid,
like
Josh.
saying it. Kragans, like from the
Mute
movie
yourself.
with Liam.
Mute yourself.
Release the Kraken.
Guys, you're so stupid.
From what movie?
It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, it's not Pirates of the Caribbean. It's the one with the Greek gods. Wrath of the Titans or something like
I've
that.
never seen that.
Yeah, with Sam Worthington and there's Liam Nelson in there. And at the end of the first one, he's like, release the Kraken.
What y'all
All
doing
right,
this weekend?
Bro, we still live, brother.
Oh crap! What y'all doing this weekend? Y'all do anything?
You know what?
I know.
He's officially taken. Don't go at this man in his DMs. Do not slide up.
he just literally hit you with the cracking noise, guys.
What y'all doing this weekend? Got any plans?
Releasing the Kraken.
God, you're such a dumbass.
I'm going to a concert.
Hell yeah!
What
Who's
concert?
playing?
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, nice. Where? Dallas?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, duh. Probably Dallas. No, duh. Sorry. Stupid question.
Oh, so I better be.
I think I'm gonna go to watch Guardians
Yeah.
Saturday.
I thought about going tonight, but I was waiting for tickets to drop for the Stars.
Right.
But if
I
not,
know.
I
I
might
gotta
go right after
return-
school.
I'm going to a beer and wine tour.
Oh, nice.
Mostly
Where
beer.
at?
Ooh.
Downtown over here in New Braunfels.
Mostly
heck
beer.
yeah.
Mostly beer, but it's
Yeah.
cool.
I gotta return a freaking pair of boots I ordered to
Boots?
FedEx.
What kind of boots?
Tacovas. I bought a pair of Tacovas.
Hey,
I bought a
I'm
pair of
telling Jack to
Tacova
buy some
boots.
Let's go.
And they don't fit
I'm
because
about to go next week to look for them probably after start testing.
You don't need no cowboy boots. Shut your ass up. You don't even wear
Whoa,
pants.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
You gonna do
whoa,
wear
hold up.
cowboy boots with
Hold
shorts?
up. This man said you gonna buy some cowboy boots, Mister.
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna ever buy some cowboy boots in my life.
My life. In
In
my life.
I can
In
wear
my
my Air
life.
Jordan. I will wear my Air Jordans and my J's and be fine.
That's what Air Jordan
But
J's
anyway.
are slap ass.
No, Air Maxes or
I don't own
Air
Max.
Force Ones. There you
I
go.
don't
Air
have
Force.
Air Force One.
Gosh.
Release
Well,
the Kraken!
If this man says release the Kraken, I'm out.
I'm just telling you,
Anyways,
Mister. I'm not gonna wear a pair of
it is-
cowboy boots.
Anyways, it's been a great episode, fellas. Thanks for tuning in. We've talked about NBA, NHL, NFL, Jack's trivia with his own brother. Appreciate Adam for hitting the under to help me out with all that stuff. But again, another great episode of the DBAB podcast. Again, thank you, fellas. And with that,